Alright, hey everyone, Allie here, and I have been participating in Bookmas, sort of. I mean, I've skipped a few days here and there, and right now I'll be doing my top 6 wish list of 2016, and which were books that I wish I had read in 2016, but who knows, I may actually get to them by the end of the year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyhow, but here are my books that I wish I read in 2016. And the first book is Replica. I don't own Replica, but I'll put a picture there. I don't own Replica, which is probably one of the reasons I haven't read it yet. But I heard lots of good things about this book. I saw it in the bookstore and I was just like, this is so intriguing. I actually I went to Barnes and Noble and they had these like epic reads, like they gave you like sneak peeks of different books, like the first couple chapters, and I saw Replica there, and I actually read the sneak peek and it was actually really interesting and I really wanted to read it, but I didn't get to it and I couldn't afford to buy it at the time, so that's why it's on this list. The 100th Floor, the next one is The 100th Floor, which by Catherine McGee. I actually have it back here. Yeah, so The 100th Floor. And I bought it for the sole purpose of actually going out and reading it, but I never got to it, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to it. And I heard it was really great. I heard that some people read it for the drama, some people read it for the futuristic part of it, and I don't know why I'll read it. I read it because I chose it because it's had a pretty cover, and the 1,000th Floor, like the idea of it seems pretty intriguing to me, so that's why I picked it up, but I didn't get to it. The next book is Illuminate, and Illuminate is not a book that came out this year. It's a book it's the first book in the series. And it's told in an unusual format between IMs and emails and things like that. And I saw it in the bookstore and it looked really intriguing to me. I just never got my hands on it. Like anytime I wanted to check it out from my local library, it was always like unavailable, and I was just like, and I was kind of tired of waiting. And the next thing I knew, it was already December, and it was too late now because I was hoping to read it before, like, by the time Gemini came out, but the next book that I wanted to read, that I wish I read in 2016, was Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. It's supposed to be a historical fiction about a couple of teenagers escaping World War II, and I really am a fan of historical fiction, so I really wanted to pick that up. But for whatever reason, I never got to it. It was like towards the bottom of my list, and I never got to it. As a matter of fact, I never got to a lot of books in my list, but these are just the 6 that I really wanted to read. The Geography of You and Me is the next book that I really wanted to read. I'm not really big into contemporary romances and things like that. I'm not really into that, but The Geography of You and Me seemed like a really interesting one, and I really wanted to pick it up, especially around Valentine's Day. Maybe if it came out around Valentine's Day. I don't even know what day it came out, but I really wanted to read it, but it was kind of low on the list of my priorities, and I never got to it, so that's why it's on the list. And particular person, no, never mind. The last book on this list is actually one that my roommate recommended me, and that is The Rest of Us Just Live Here. And it basically tells the story from different points of view of people who live in a city, but they're just the ordinary people. They're not the superheroes who save the world. Who save their city. They're just the people who live there, and it just tells them from a point of view where they're like, where if they go to school, their gymnasium where they were supposed to have their prom gets destroyed because of a superhero fight that happened earlier, and their prom might not happen, and they kind of get annoyed and fed up with that. That seems like an interesting point of view, especially with a lot of superhero movies that came out this year and that will be coming next year. So that's an interesting point of view. Like, everyone focuses on the hero, but no one focuses on the little people who live day by day, and they just they get kind of fed up with like superheroes crashing into their home, or just crashing into buildings where they work at. So I felt like that was a really interesting, and I hope to read that. But yeah, so those were my six that I wish I read. Let me know if there were any books that if you could relate to my dilemma of books that I didn't read, or if you have any books that you also wish you didn't read, and recommend me some books while you're down there too, because that actually helps. That way I can get my reading level up this coming year. But I hope you guys have the great rest of the day, and I'll see you soon.